Hey, it's the Wagoners. Today is butchering day. We've been raising these meat birds for 8 weeks now, and they are anywhere between 7.5 and 9.5 pounds. And they're ready to go. So this is where we actually raise them. You know, we have the box in the back that they start off in when they're chicks. Once they're big enough, then we move them down below, and they basically stay in here their whole life. I wish we could have tractors and moving around the yard, which we probably could, but we have bunnies and tractors that we do that with. So these, it's easier to just leave them in here. We get good organic feed, and they're delicious. So we do give them some scraps and some of that stuff too. But so what we do here is we actually catch them. Braden does that actually, and we will show you the whole process. So basically, when we do this, we don't spend big money on this. I see these guys on YouTube that have these stainless steel tables with sinks in them, and secondary stainless steel tables and ice containers and tanks and all this stuff that they bought in nice metal cones. I'm not spending that kind of money. I'm backyard. I want to do this as cheap as possible. So we're going to show you how we do it. It's cheap, it's effective. We've spent the money on things that we need to, but other areas we just don't. So we'll show you what we do next. So we're partway through this process already. So there is blood on this stuff. So we won't show the actual killing of the chickens, but what we do is, instead of spending money on these big, expensive stainless steel kill cones that you use once or twice a year, we just took 5-gallon buckets, cut them, put some pop rivets in there. It's good to go. Works fantastic. Cheap, easy. You can clean them. I mean, it's a 5-gallon bucket. So basically, you hold them by the feet, put them in there. You can do that. And they kind of calm down, and they just hang out. And then you basically just pull their head down and just cut the throat, just so that you hit the arteries, and they'll just bleed out. They just hang out until, you know, the blood's gone, and then the body does kick. When the blood leaves the muscles, they will contract a little bit, but they're not really feeling it. They don't even really know you cut their neck. If you don't have to go all the way through the windpipe. You can literally just hit one artery, and they'll just hang out and look around until their eyes go shut. So that's how we do it. It works great. All right, next step. So we just have a turkey cooker hooked up to propane. And the biggest thing is making sure that this temperature is 145 to 155 is what we find works the best. Now, I used like the thermometer last year that goes in the turkey cooker, and it was actually off. So we actually burned or like cooked a lot of the skin, and it tore when we put it in the plucker. So what we've done is we like these thermopens. We use this for our maple syrup because they are stupid accurate. And so if you don't have one, they are worth the $100. I mean, it's a meat thermometer. They are awesome. But so I use this because then I can get it exact. It is exactly 153 right now. So that is ready to go. So what we do is we like to make stock with the feet. And so we put this in here, swirl it a little bit to get all the feathers wet, and then you push it down, and I just have a stick, and hold those feet under there, because then the skin on the feet actually will come off just like the feathers will. And when it's in the plucker, actually most of the skin on the feet comes off. And when you actually make stock, you don't have to redo them. And so we actually cut the heads off too. That's another thing. Once they're dead, we cut the heads off. So this is basically a count to 30. And they are usually done at 30 seconds. But the way to tell is, now we pull this up. Check your bigger wing feathers. They are not coming out easy yet. It is not ready. So we're going to put it in for another 10 seconds or so.
What if I try to revive the chicken and reach in with this?
Now let's check it. And this skin will start to pull off the leg too, like that. And now these are coming out easy. That one is done. So we're going to set it in the plucker, but not turn it on. It actually works better if we do 2 in that plucker at the same time. It doesn't tear them up as bad. It actually, 2 is the best for that. So it's just rinse and repeat. Same thing again. Keep that bird fully submerged under here. You know, it's kind of a dirty process. We will change this water out every 15 or 20 birds. We're doing 49, so we'll probably change it twice while we're, you know, in processing them. So it's heating up, and we're not really wasting any time while that is changing. So, and we have a different plucker now. We've rented them. We've done that kind of stuff. We actually got a good one. It's called it's a handy plucker. And so far, it has been awesome. Thing does a phenomenal job. So that is the one thing that we actually spend the money on, is the plucker. And we're going to rent it out. So they're starting to come out. They're not quite ready. We're going to rent it out, and that's going to actually pay for itself. And by next year, we should be able to rent it enough that hopefully next year's birds will basically be paid for just by renting that out. And I will use it for waterfowl as well. And not quite. That needs a few more seconds. All right, time for plucking them. So when you turn this on, you want to turn it on without birds in there. So we reach under, turn it on, drop one in, drop two in, and then you gotta wash the feathers out. They just spin. "20 seconds or so. That's what's coming out of this thing. You know, you got a few feathers on here to pick off. Most of the skin on the feet is gone. The rest of this pulls off really easy. These, we cut that off anyway, so it's not a big deal. And these are, I mean, that is super clean, really, really fast. It works really, really well. So